Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got 5 more really cool knives for you guys to check out. Most of these are available right now. I will link them right down below so you guys can check them out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use my links, but that's entirely up to you. These knives are in no particular category, no particular order. They're just 5 cool knives that I think you guys might also like, whether you are new or you've been around in the knife world for a long time. Thanks to my generous patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Let's get started here with one that I definitely consider to be a budget knife, and that's going to be the Bestech Ornetta in D2. Now, this knife has been around for a while, actually. I remember reviewing a premium version of this. They've got kind of intermediate versions of this. This guy comes in at $68, which is on the more expensive side for a budget knife, but you do get quite a bit of detail in the design. This is a very good ergonomic design, if not a little bit chunky, but it works absolutely. Nice choke up position, very nice blade profile, just a lot more going on than you would generally expect from a budget knife. Relatively thick blade stock, but very nice cutting edge for sure. Really good flipping action and really good pivot smoothness, I guess. This is just one that I really like. I'm not the biggest fan of the pocket clip or the positioning of it, but if you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank, has all the materials you'd expect like G10 and steel liners, D2 steel, but it's just executed in a way that's a little bit more spicy, I think the Bestech Ornetta is definitely one that you should check out. Moving on here, here's one that's less expensive. This is brand new for 2022 as far as I know. This is the CJRB Ruffian, a nice little EDC sized Wharncliffe, which is just fantastic for day-to-day stuff. This is a Dirk Pinkerton design, which is actually pretty obvious now that I look at the blade. Real straightforward, not a whole lot of crazy going on here. Something interesting is that it does have mounting positions for the pocket clip, tip up, tip down, left or right-handed carry, so you can carry it however you want. You just have to deal with the right-handed liner lock. Nice thin profile, nice thin blade stock, just a really generic day-to-day knife. Blade steel on this guy, if we can find it here, it's going to be AR RPM 9, which is really cool because that is a powder form steel. It's actually very similar to, it'd basically be a powdered 9CR 18 MOV. This guy comes in at $49 and in my opinion is worth every bit of that. I have no complaints about this knife at $49. Very recommendable. Moving on here to another really impressive one. QSP. It's going to be the QSP Leopard. I think this has been around for not a ton of time, but people have definitely seen it. This particular one is actually a carbon fiber laminate. So we have a thin piece of carbon fiber right here, and then underneath it is actually G10. You can also choose micarta if you don't like to shine it right. There's a few different choices. The cool thing here is that you're getting QSP's quality, which is just off the charts for the amount of money that you pay, but you're also getting 14C28N steel, which is one of the most balanced steels that you can get in the budget knife world. This knife comes in at $48, which makes it an insanely good deal. Usually, you know, like this exact knife from any other company would run you $70. That's what it seems like. And you know what? That's generally somewhat fair, you know? But QSP just does a better job of delivering this type of quality for a reasonable price. We have a nice polished liner lock. We've got a little bit of milling in there for weight reduction. Reasonably good ergonomic profile. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. This is a smaller, more compact style knife, but it'll definitely work. Wonderful cutting geometry. QSP does a great satin finish. And then we have a really good pocket clip too. A little bit of an unnecessary bill, but good. Generally speaking, you know, it's really hard to complain about something like this for $48, right? It's just, I don't know, I kind of feel bad complaining about it. Moving on here, one that is definitely on the more expensive side. This is going to be brought to us by Artisan Cutlery. This is the Artisan Cutlery Tylos, a Dylan Mallory design, which anybody who's familiar with Dylan Mallory, you're going to see his design language, I think, pretty obviously in this one. This is a very straightforward EDC design. We have some more premium materials, including solid carbon fiber scales. It's actually a shred carbon fiber titanium frame. So we have what looks like the bolster. It's actually the entire frame. Titanium bolster lock. And then we have S35VN for the blade steel, which I think is fantastic. He's also got a nice tumbled finish on this guy, and we have a nice titanium milled clip with a titanium backspacer. This is really good. It kind of gives off that real minimalist vibe, and by the way, yes, that is a front flipper, and you can absolutely front flip it. It gives off that kind of like, not a cheap knife, but it's just there's nothing about this that's screaming, I'm really expensive. And to people who like to carry knives that start to climb up there in price, sometimes that's something that we appreciate. You don't always want something hanging out of your pocket, or when you're using it, you don't always want something that's like screaming at everybody, hey, I'm worth a lot of money. And that is essentially exactly what's going on here. I really like it. I mean, we have some contouring going on here with the scales. The edges are nicely chamfered down. This is just barely a full 4-finger grip knife. Access to that deployment slot is what I'm going to call it, deployment hole, whatever you want to call it. You can do the thumb flick. It is absolutely easier to do the reverse flick. There's a nice big space where you can kind of, if you like to get down here, or you're somebody who likes to open it from up here, it'll work. The front flipping action also works really well. Nice solid lockup, really, really nice smooth action, perfect centering, everything that you want from you know, a knife like this that's more expensive. It's just not, you know, it's not very loud, and for some people that's gonna be really nice, so I appreciate this one. This guy comes in definitely more pricey. It's actually the most pricey knife on the list today at $199, but anybody who knows what's been happening with this territory in the knife world here lately knows that this is pretty good. It's pretty competitive. We see a lot of the same stuff going for $250 or even $300 sometimes, so I can't complain too much about that price tag. Another really nice offering from Artisan Cutlery and Dylan Mallory. And then last but certainly not least, I think this is far and away the most interesting one on the list. This one you might not be able to get yet, but if not, it is definitely coming, and I'll make sure that there are links down below that kind of explain where and when and stuff like that. This is the QSP Penguin L. This is the large Penguin, and yes, that is a flipper tab. This is a titanium frame lock, CPM 20 CV steel. Yours will not say sample on it. And then in this case, we have carbon fiber, like it's like a carbon fiber and copper, almost like carbon mascus. I don't know really what to call it, but it's carbon fiber that has been infused with like a copper, like copper flake, right? They're gonna have a lot of different versions of this. I was talking with QSP, and this just works perfectly too, by the way. The thumb studs are still in a great spot. I like this one, actually. This one feels so much more roomy. This is really comfortable. So it's everything that you like about the original Penguin. They do have this wire clip on there. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing that or not. It's just bigger, right? Now, this is a premium version of it, so it is titanium and this copper carbon fiber stuff and 20 CV. The starting price on these is going to be, and it may not be exactly for this one, but for 20 CV and titanium and some at least basic material for this for the front scale is going to start at $175, which I think is pretty great. I don't really want to complain too much about that. I'm hoping that they do. I think these are going to be called the Penguin L. Right? It's a large Penguin. They also got a mini. But I'm hoping that they do like budget versions of these as well. They need like the ultra inexpensive, you know, D2 versions. I'm kind of hoping that they do, you know, 14C28N. But truthfully, I hope they make the inexpensive ones with liner locks, right? I mean, it's nice to have a titanium frame lock, but I'm hoping that the inexpensive or the budget versions of these L's or these large Penguins are, you know, G10 or micarta on both sides and then a steel liner lock. With this frame, the width of the frame, it's just barely wide enough, but I still like the original Penguin layout a little bit better. That is a liner lock, so that if you want to put pressure on this side, you're not actually putting pressure on the frame, you're putting pressure on the outside scale. Those were also insanely smooth as well. This guy's good. I think it'll smooth up a little bit over time, maybe a little bit of KPL or 10-weight nano oil, which you can find. If you want to make your own knife smoother, look down in my description. It talks about the tools and stuff that I use on this channel. Pick up some KPL or some 10-weight nano oil and it'll definitely improve your action. But something like that might help out just a little bit. This is definitely cool. When they said that they were, you know, about to release this, I thought that's awesome. So I'm really glad that I got a sample. None of the stuff that you've seen here today, you have actually seen the full comprehensive review of on my channel. So you can expect to see this stuff down the road, right? If you want a full review of this stuff before you actually pick it up, that's fine. You can wait for it. If not, like I said, links for everything down below that is actually available right now. So we'll go back, name these again. We have the QSP Penguin L, or large penguin. And by the way, if you wanted to know like how big is this thing, let's go ahead and measure it, because it's really not a giant knife. Overall length is coming in just shy of 8 inches. Then we have, hold on here, let me fold this up. We have once again the Artisan Cutlery Tylos. We have the QSP Leopard. We have the CJRB Ruffian, and we have the Bestech Ornetta in D2, which again has been around for a long time, but still thought I'd share. That's gonna be pretty much it today, guys. I really enjoy doing this. This has just been an awesome series. Make sure you check out my playlist, 5 Cool Knives, if you wanna go back through and see everything else that I've talked about. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.